We know you started your company from scratch.
Happy to say that NKG is almost number one in India for cosmetic licensing.
RA industry is developing for so many, young people who are studying, people who are entering the workforce.
There was a time where delegation was actually required and we actually had to build our teams.
Mr. Bindra, we know you started your company from scratch, managing from one person company, then your son's joining in, and now you are a company of 50 people and counting. So, can you share a key moment that influenced how you lead today?
Yes, no doubt I started as a single person company, and then it was a really tough job to maintain everything, right from checking the papers and compiling the papers, submitting them, following up. Once the license comes, you prepare the invoice yourself, submit it again, then follow up with the client for money. But the years passed by, and then when Navraj was in Melbourne for his studies, the current had finished his education process, and I asked him that, what is the plan? So he said, nothing, sir. I have no plans. But next morning was surprising when he came to office. He says, Papa, I'm here. And I remember the color of suit also. It was a green color suit. He came and, Papa, I'm here. Now, adding to it was that we had only one computer in office and one table. He did not feel shy for a moment. He sat down on his knees and took my system and started working on that. He, Papa, show me the papers which I have to study. And then on, things started coming up. Thereafter, Navraj entered, came back to India, and he also became a part of this. And as the childhood grows to youngness, many laws were also blessed by courts, which were relevant for these two newcomers to NKG. To study them, it was comparatively easier laws. And when they took in charge of cosmetic licensing, today we are happy to say that NKG is almost number one in India for cosmetic licensing. So it's really nice, and that's a short but deep journey, and I'm happy about it.
Mr. Navraj, so you are the voice of the company. You are the one handling the clients, giving them the news, good news, bad news. So as you started working with clients at NKG, how did you learn to build strong relationships while also balancing their different needs?
Well, managing expectations is, I realized over years, was one of the most important skill set that was required in a service organization like us, especially when the way RA as a profession was looked at 20 years ago or 15 years ago, and the way RA industry is developing for so many, young people who are studying, people who are entering the workforce. So I realized it was more about, yes, it is always about knowledge, information, being up to date, but also a lot of these experiential aspect of all stakeholders is very important, and that's where managing expectations becomes a very important factor. Every day, I think culturally we are aligned. When Papa formed this company, and in fact when he started his journey in regulatory in 1977, from that very day through today, and I hope going to the future, culturally as a group we being transparent, being unbiased, being honest is drilled into our DNA. And that is, these are cliches, but when you look at everyday conversations with many stakeholders, like your clients, regulatory bodies, internally, your own team members, yourself, saying the right thing at the right time, completely and correctly, although it might sound too simple, is actually very hard. So that's like the most important thing. We don't skip eating the frog part in a conversation. We have difficult conversations if those conversations need to happen. And it's important to assure all stakeholders, clients and everyone. It's important to ensure that all those key points, delays, new requirements, new documentary evidence, all those things clearly communicated well in time, or as soon as we know about them, and not hide anything basically from anybody. And that's like the most important thing. And we've had very difficult conversations with our clients. We've had very difficult conversations with other stakeholders, but and every time we have had a fear of losing a client, or not being able to meet a deadline in a critical peak time. I remember during COVID period, and every time there's a peak demand of any critical product or even non-critical products, but every product category has their own crests and troughs. But having difficult conversations with the right information is very important, and we try to make those conversations if they need to happen. And that's like the most important thing. I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat it, but if you keep, and that's what we do every day, day in day out, and that's what keeps us going.
Mr. Karan, you are the man behind all the execution happening in the company, from executing a simple task to planning a new venture or a new project. From your perspective, focused on execution, what do you believe drives our team's dedication? Since you are the one handling the team along with the others.
So during, after COVID, as an organization, we have grown rapidly, many folds. As an organization, as a person handling the team, it is our deep focus that we grow people internally rather than taking people from outside. There are people who started with us, let's say for example, merely focused on submission or uploading or manually compiling of documents, and now we have people who have grown from 7 years from them to dealing with clients, explaining the clients about the regulatory changes. We have added more services. We have given chance to our team and our colleague to explore new services. There was a time when regulatory was only about drugs, medical device, cosmetics. It was the challenge that our clients gave to us, and finally it passed on to our team members. Let's start exploring other avenues of and adding services like legal metrology, EPR, battery waste, food. So as an organization, we have not only grown in terms of number, but we have also added key areas of our service offerings. We have recently started Dubai. The people who were already handling the India regulatory affairs have been given an opportunity to start expanding their knowledge base about Middle East, starting Dubai. We are keen, our team is keen and actively working on reading regulations for Europe and US as well. As an organization, we want to expand our footprints not only in India but also in other countries like Middle East, US and Europe. And I know it's a long journey to go, but as an organization, we have had our own mistakes. We are deploying automations which can help our team grow faster, make less errors. We are trying, because we're a small organization growing rapidly. There are many things which we are growing as an organization, learning. There are various new things that come to us from our team members. We share with each other so that we can learn from each other.
From cold calling clients to getting referrals from the giants of the industry, from preparing the dossiers on their own to having a dedicated team for the job now, NKG has come a long way and has now expanded its services in Dubai. Catch us next week as we continue our conversations with the directors of the company. Thank you.